I think the point is if you are treating trading like a business, your attitude and the way you go about trading is very, very different. You have structures in place. We're talking about generally you have an operational framework. You have a business plan. You have what are called KPIs, which is key performance indicators to track and measure how the business is doing. You have certain SOPs. This is what it looks like in business. You have tools, technology, those kinds of things. How does it look in trading? Well, you have a trading plan and how you're going to trade. You have a KPI. Bryan mentioned there's 16 of them. A structure is built when at a time that you're not emotional, so that when you get to emotional moments while you're trading, you can look at this structure that you have already designed and built out, right? Instead of SOPs, you have routines. You check your emotions. We have a whole document that asks you specific questions to find out if you're in an emotional state to trade. We have everything built out and structured for you, assuming you want to treat it like a business, but it's there for you to take advantage of. And those that do, they get the privileges of our group calls and our August rush and those kinds of things. Those that don't use those tools, we're holding them accountable and we're saying, not really trading, you're gambling.
Yeah. So what are the secrets? How do some of the most successful entrepreneurs find the freedom that we all got into business for in the first place? How did they find the time, energy, and resources to launch and scale strong? And how do entrepreneurs like us align our time, money, and energy in a way that will allow us to reach what we set out to achieve? These are the key questions, and this community will give you the answers. Welcome to the Prosperity Movement.
Everybody, welcome to the Prosperity U podcast. So here we like to talk about things, about trading, about building your legacy, about having the right state of mind in order to grow success and building that wealth. And today goes right along those lines. We're actually going to be talking about how to transform your trading from gambling into consistent long-term wealth, even if you've struggled with inconsistent results in the past. Okay, so to kind of give you an example of this, there's a guy, his name is Jesse Livermore, somewhat of a famous trader back in the early 1900s. And interesting story, in 1907, okay, the date is actually relatively important, he made $1 million trading in a single day. Now, I don't know about you guys, but Bryan and Travis and I, we've actually seen other people do that before in today's dollars. However, in 1907, $1 million is equivalent to 33 million today. So he really made 33 million bucks in a single day. Fast forward 8 years. Okay, 1907, that happened. Grew his net worth to over $3 million back in, those dollar, whatever that is, was 3 million then. I guess it would be 99 or 90. It'd basically be $100 million net worth. Fast forward 8 years and he's filing for bankruptcy. And the way that he made so much money in such a short period of time is he was doing a lot of shorts, which basically he was kind of going against the grain a little bit. And at the end of the day, he got very, very lucky. So, we don't want that. That's not the goal for a real professional trader, is not to gamble. The goal is to treat your trading like a business and build something sustainable, consistent, and reliable. Right? So anyway, why do some people, Travis, you've talked to a lot of people just getting started and wanting to join our programs. What are some reasons that they have to join and to learn trading?
What are their motivations to want to join us, or what are their motivations to want to learn how to trade?
To want to learn how to trade.
Well, I think everyone pretty much gets into it with the same initial thought process, which is like, it's money. It's a way to make money. And that seems to be the baseline for everybody. But the motivations behind wanting to make that money kind of change person to person. And I think probably ubiquitously across the board, most people are wanting to bring the impact that having the extra money will bring, usually around being able to retire, being able to spend more time with their family, being able to pursue more out of life than just the standard 9 to 5, like the impact. I'm not sure. Is that answering your question, or was there something specific that you wanted me to?
No, yeah, that's exactly it. So yeah, so
Okay.
a lot of times, the initial motivation, and this is not a impure thing by any means, but it's to make more money, right? Money provides freedom. Money represents a lot of positive things for a lot of good people out there. Um, However, I think the trap that some people might fall into is they might think trading is a way to make money quickly.
Hmm.
And so that's the part, and I always like to say, like, it's not a get rich quick program or opportunity, but it is a get rich quicker than corporate America opportunity, right? So it's a faster route, definitely, as long as you have support and the right mentorship. However, it's not like tomorrow you're a million. It's not like 1907 with this guy who got super lucky and made 33 million in a day.
We're talking
Like,
about efficiency and impact right now, though, right? Because like no matter what, anything worth anything is going to require effort, and it's going to require training, and it's going to require like energy. Like there has to be an exchange of that. Like you have a 9 to 5. There was somebody who set up an infrastructure and went through a process of building those infrastructures to be able to give you that position in your job. Now, that person develops skill sets in however many points of measurement to be able to get to that point, right? We always talk about the gym. How many points of measurement are you going through? I always say there are 3 types of people that go to the gym. The first type of person says, I have a gym membership and I went to the gym today, and therefore I can eat the entire pizza at the end of the day, right? They're justifying poor behavior because they went to it. It's kind of like those that justify poor behavior to go to church, right? I went to church and therefore it's okay that I do bad things in between. I'll just ask God for forgiveness, right? Come on, right? Like there's this reality of the scenario. The second person that goes to the gym says, I got the gym membership. I went to the gym. I'm counting my macros. While I was in the gym, when I first started going to the gym, it hurt. Okay. I wasn't doing things properly. I wasn't in the right position. So, what are the points of measurement that I needed a personal trainer to help me get into the right position, to get in the right position with the chest press so that I wasn't going to hurt myself? What are the points of measurement with that? So that person is measuring what's happening out on the field in front of the charts in the gym, and then measuring what they're doing thereafter to make sure that they're walking away with the results, right? The
you
third
said earlier,
person,
Brian, that I went to the gym and therefore I'm not going to have that extra slice of pizza
I
in
went to the
my
gym and
diet.
therefore I'm not eating that pizza tonight. You know what? Like I'm choosing watermelon
So the first
instead.
person was I went to the gym. Now I can, and I have a really good friend, by the way. He's in great shape, but that's his that's his motto. He's like, I go to the gym so I can eat like crap, and he has
Yeah.
a really terrible diet. But the next person is I go to the gym and therefore I'm going to continue to be disciplined in different
Yeah.
approaches outside of the gym. And the last one is who?
And the last one is the person who says, I got a gym membership. I feel good about that. And so the question is which person are you? And are you aware? So, like most traders that are coming through here, we attract a lot of the people that have gone through and had really horrible experiences up to this point, and then they come here, they experience something completely different. We also attract those that are brand new, which that much the better, because what better, more wise thing that you can do than to like actually learn from someone else and someone else's mistakes, and where they've gained that consistency. And ultimately, what most people are completely unaware of, to actually trade successfully in the Forex market, there are 16 points of measurement. 16 points of measurement for you to actually measure and manage and treat your trading like a business to become successful at it. If you're not aware of those 16 points of measurement, highly encourage you to keep sticking around and listening in to all the content, really honing in on this. But then the reality is like there's nothing more frustrating. And I know this from personal experience. It doesn't matter what it is, especially trading. I experienced this when we first started. We were with another academy before this. And when you believe wholeheartedly, I did everything I thought I was supposed to do, everything the video told me to do, and for some reason I'm still not winning. Why is that happening?
Hmm.
Do you have any idea from those 16 points of reference how many blind spots you're walking around with right now?
Hmm. And it's interesting too when people start asking that kind of question, oftentimes they get into more or less reinventing the wheel mentality,
Mm-hmm.
where now instead of following it like they thought they were, now they're like, well, I think I know better now, and they start really veering off. The real key, and we did this training yesterday, Janelle and myself, with our community, and we have a guy in there. His name is Cameron, great guy. He's been with us for a little while. He's doing great, by the way. Last week he got over 100 pips, killing it. And we're kind of talking to him a little bit. And he brought up like our accountability system and reviewing your trades. He goes, I can't tell you how many times I finished my session thinking I did really well because I was profitable, and I go back and look at some of my entries and I'm like, what was I thinking in that moment, And so now he has to kind of remap and say, okay, what was I thinking? How
It's,
can I avoid that in the future and make some notes and make some tweaks? And so,
Because you could be making how many plays that you were profitable there. And this is why, okay, well, for those that okay, win ratio is important, but what about your hold percentage? You have no idea. You could be sitting at a 60 to 70% win rate, but your hold percentage is so bad that you're in a deficit,
yeah,
right? Like, and that happens. And that's because of what you're talking about right now, which is, hey, I won, but I won. Like, do you want to win with integrity or no integrity? Because when you're running with no integrity, that's how you get caught. And that's how you get caught in the That's how it turns into gambling.
what's interesting is we're talking about measuring stuff, and we're kind of talking about sometimes people think they can reinvent the wheel or kind of wing it, if you will. When we first started really holding our community accountable to submitting their trades so that our coaches could help them, um, what's interesting is that there were a couple people who we found out were not measuring their trading
At
at all.
all.
They were just going in, doing the best they could, and leaving for the day instead of going in, doing the best they could, tracking what they did so that we can see their numbers and they could see their numbers, and then reviewing their trades. Like there's a whole system. What do you think, guys, would be a reason? Because I talked to some of these guys that weren't tracking, and I know the answer to this, I think, but what do you think is some of the reasons that they didn't want to track their numbers?
Well, first of all, it just makes me shake my head because the only measurement you have there is what's in your account, and what's in your account is not what you want it to be.
Yeah.
Right? That's the only measurement you have. So the question is what is causing that person to not do what they should be doing?
To not even want to track their numbers.
So there's a few things. I think that they're like, first of all, like when you're first coming into the prosperity movement, to hear that there's an accountability system in place that requires you to submit in order to get on those live calls with James, that sounds great on the front end. But then this on the other side, I think that there's a fear, like
Mm.
almost like, oh man, I'm walking around naked. Like I don't want them to see me naked, right? Where it's like I now have to admit that not only am I walking around naked, but I'm completely out of shape, and I don't want you to see me naked. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's where it gets like that's hard to face yourself in the mirror. It's hard to look in the mirror. Hey, you get to choose your hard, man. Which
yeah.
hard do you want to go with? The
I
hard of
think it's
like,
natural
yeah,
for people to feel like they don't want to be seen unless they can be great, right? Like no
mhm,
one wants to be seen in the mediocre stage of learning, right?
yeah,
So the fear is a big one, perhaps, and I don't know the answers to the people you were talking to, Zach, but perhaps another one is just a a state of rebellion or disbelief as well. Like, hey, I don't really think it's going to work for me that way. I don't think I need that. A little bit of pride there as
hmm
well. So I don't need that. I can kind of wing it. Like for me, and particularly going to school, and it was chump. It was so stinking easy. I can wing any test and get an ace. And so a big thing for me when I first got started was not actually following suit with that accountability type of stuff, right? And I was like, no, I can just wing it. And it's totally not true. So there's some sort of rebellion or pride as well as the fear on it as well. Are we hitting any nails right
Yeah,
now, Zach?
you're nailing it completely.
Yeah.
You're nailing it completely. I like the analogy of don't look at me naked. But
Yeah,
what's
Unless
interesting
you're
is
not
like
Bryan. Yeah.
bro,
especially,
I'm okay with
especially
it.
not me.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I feel pretty good right now.
So what happens though is if they don't, please
You guys are
don't.
just jealous. I can make them dance, bro. I can make them dance.
We can go back and delete this, guys.
Yeah.
We can edit this part out.
What's interesting though is if they do, let me rephrase that. When these people that didn't, to go along with the analogy, didn't want us to see them naked and see their bad numbers, when they came to us with the bad numbers, we gave them a shirt. You know, like, hey, here's a shirt. These numbers, they're not great, but we know what the problem is. Let's help you fix it one step at a time. This week,
They
focus.
already knew that they were doing less than stellar, and so
Oh yeah,
it's a matter of embarrassment and pride and
yeah.
fear and rebellion, all of it kind of tied in together. That's such a bizarre place to be, but what a mark of humanity it is, regardless. Like that, we're just people,
Yeah.
and none of us are perfect, right? And so, if that's the case, then if the idea of the accountability and such is so sexy on the front end, what's the dilemma between liking it at first and then actually getting access to it and rebelling against it? Like, what is that? Why does
Well,
that happen?
let's go back to the gym. Let me ask you, how many people on New Year's Day get a gym membership focused on this idea of, yeah, this is my year. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna get in shape at the end of the year. For some reason, I'm just as bad, if not worse.
Yeah, 100%.
That's
It
why it's this layer of like we are in a constant conversation surrounding commitment and coachability. In a constant conversation. And you can hear in my voice because I absolutely love every aspect of what we do. And I know I'm convicted inside and out that we like, and even I heard you say this the other day, Zach, while we were having a conversation, is like the best trading education platform in the world. And I do challenge, like, show me another one that isn't, and we're gonna want to learn from them. Or sorry, show me another one that's better, and I'm gonna want to go learn from them. Right? Like, show me something else out there that actually has the same level of support and accountability that we do.
mm, yeah.
It just doesn't exist. And so like that conviction, and then it can get frustrating at times because we talk with a lot of people. We got about 35 people coming in a day right now. It might be more based on the numbers coming in, based on some of the tweaks that Zach just made with our team. But 35 people coming in a day, 1,400 a month, just under 17,000 a year. And the amount of people that come in here and is maybe it's not your fault because, like, I've heard Zach say this before, but maybe you're too new and you haven't been kicked in the balls enough, or like, or like you're coming in and you're just inundated with a whole bunch of stuff and you haven't seen and fully understood what's being offered, what is actually here at your fingertips. But then when I sit here and I go through my mind, I'm just like, okay, wait, you just missed a call. You didn't show up for the call that you booked. Like, where's your integrity? If you can't even show up for a call, how are you even going to be successful at showing up for trading? And then the next thing is like, are you even aware 28,000 pips last year on live calls with our community with James? He lost a total of 18 over 5 plays throughout the whole entire year. Yoda. We call the guy Yoda. Yoda is bringing up baby Yodas right now. A whole bunch of them. Okay? Like, this thing is growing. We're still a baby. There's never been a better time than now, but let's get to it. 28,000 pips last year. We're at what right now? What's the pip count? We're not even at the last quarter. We passed that? We close to that?
We're getting there. I want to say it was 14,000 last month. So I don't know what July's count is.
Okay, July's count. So we're at
But it doesn't
14.
include July or August, so we haven't caught up with July's time, and then August is always one of that. We call it August rush for a reason.
Yeah.
August Rush.
Single best
August
time.
Rush. We're going to have 6 all-day live sessions in August. Last year we had one. We typically have one a month, right? One all day a month. So last
Yeah.
year we only had one. He didn't add any extras, so it was just a regular month. And now there's going to be 6 during the hottest time of the season, hottest time of the year.
Mm.
Now, last year we had a few students actually gain their entire yearly, what was it? Their entire
Their
yearly
whole annual
salary in
Yep.
one all-day session. We
Yeah.
have people over here. So let's get to this too. So like recently, James will average between 30 to 60 pips on average in an hour session. The other day he does 300 pips. Okay, the dude is 50-pound lot sizes at $75 per pip. So at 300 pips, that's $25,000 in less than an hour session. Now, James also has students that trust him so much that they're doing 200-pound lot sizes. How much is that in American?
A lot.
Right, 50 to 75. So I don't know, this is, what is that? 200 pounds. Let's just say 375 to 400 bucks.
Yeah, I'm sorry, 257.
257. So
Yeah.
just say 250 times 300 pips.
I'm not the greatest. Give me a second.
It's
250.
sad.
1 million.
You don't have to know math to trade. So
Yeah.
75,000.
$75,000. Ouch. Man, how intelligent am I to not show up for a call now? Really? I normally don't do this, but my level of frustration for the amount of people that are not showing up for calls on the front end of this thing, where you're setting up a call with our consultants and our people to actually help you and guide you through to the hottest support system and accountability system in the world.
Mm.
Yeah, that means that you don't actually get to jump on a live call with James unless you have done your 16 points of measurement throughout the week. Why is that important? Because again, you don't even know your blind spots.
Yeah.
Should you even be trading money? Like, how many people that we talk to actually come through here and tell me that they lost $20,000 this year? I've actually heard guys losing up to $200,000 this year coming through here. And then it's like, okay, and whatever prop firm, they were going with a prop firm and somehow got in with a prop firm, got kicked out of prop firm. Dude, let me ask you this. You go into the gym for the first time, you want to get jacked, you're going to deadlift 500 pounds on day one?
Travis. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
True story. You may not look like it, guys. You may not.
You actually got a $20,000 hospital bill from that one, didn't you?
Shape.
But like, man, like, so yeah, like if you wouldn't do that in the gym, why in heaven's name would you go and get a $200,000 account with a prop firm and decide you're going to start trading with that?
It's crazy.
Well, again, it kind of comes back down to the first notions that people have when they want to get into trading. And I think the blunt truth about it is, if it was as easy as they think it is, everyone would probably be doing it, right? Like that's a mantra for anything, and it's a good way to scale it and look at things objectively too. Like, going in and getting a prop firm account, it sounds appealing, but then time and time, I don't know anybody personally who's gone through prop firm and been successul.
We've got a bunch of students that have graduated over here. Actually, we have students that
we
have
have some.
We have some. The people who go through, that's their first stint in trading.
Oh, gotcha.
Right. So when they first get started, I want to go do it this way, right? Going through and becoming a good trader, and then going and broadening your tool belt, sure, that's fine. But when you're first starting, it's just bizarre how many people get in with the right and the wrong intentions, right? Like, so Bryan, you're saying New Year's resolutions. I want to go to the gym. I want to get into shape, right? Like it's a good idea, but why is it only valid in the new year? Well, there's a lack of an accountability or true belief in the idea that you're actually going to follow through with it, right? And so then they start looking like, well, then I'll get a personal trainer and I won't walk away from having spent a couple $100 with them and stuff. Like, yeah, right. You'll walk away with a couple $100 because it's not a couple $100 keeping you from going to the gym. What's keeping you from going to the gym is a certain discipline, a certain belief, a certain just mindset altogether. And if you start the prop firm with that type mindset, then what kind of results are you expecting to get?
Yeah.
This is not anything revelational or like this is not just this ultimate wisdom. I think it's common sense. But we can get distracted in this sea of shiny objects in this modern economy and online stuff, right? To be able to start looking at it. And of course, there's lots of fancy marketing out there that promises you the moon and the stars, and then all they give you is like this moon pie. It's like BS, just BS. And so when we talk to people, we tell them like literally there's nothing overly complicated about any individual piece of this puzzle, but there are multiple pieces. And you have to have all of them put together in the right order for your puzzle to actually exist in the way it was supposed to, right? And so we say, in much the same way, when you go into business, there's a pretty tried and true methodology of how do you actually build it to not only have it stable, but scalable and consistent, right, over time. So we say treat it like a business. Well, that's not it's overly ambiguous right now, Travis. What does that mean? It's like, okay, so treating it like a business has many different contexts, and we've been talking and digesting that over the past few podcasts, right? So you guys can go back and listen to those. For today specifically, what is our direct correlation? Is it the idea of like when you don't, it oftentimes can turns into gambling, right? Or what's the direct correlation here today?
I think the point is if you are treating trading like a business, your attitude and the way you go about trading is very, very different. You have structures in place, right? So we're not talking about one specific structure today. We're talking about generally you have an operational framework. You have a business plan. You have what are called KPIs, which is key performance indicators to track and measure how the business is doing. You have certain SOPs, standard operating procedures, right? This is what it looks like in business. You have tools, technology, those kinds of things. How does it look in trading? Well, you have a trading plan, which we're very much heavily talking about changing the name of that to trading roadmap. But you have a plan in your trading and how you're going to trade. You have a KPIs, you have key performance indicators. Bryan mentioned there's 16 of them. And for those of you that are members, it's all in the spread. It's all in the journal. You'll see it all in there. But there are certain KPIs that help so
the reason
much.
Why Zach clarifies that, by the way, is because the way that we have everything spreadsheeted out and exactly how it looks. You're not going through and doing like, all right, number one, check, number two, check on 16 different things. It actually helps keep track of a lot of these things automatically for you.
Yeah.
And so there's the data that we have from them. So maybe some of our members are like 16. What am I missing? It's like, no, it's all there.
We need to simplify this for the people in the front to understand that there are 16 points that you are honing in on. And I think, another piece of this is this understanding that you've got to have a united heart set and mindset surrounding the concept of like being comfortable. Here's what I mean by that. You've got to get comfortable being uncomfortable and constantly push that over and over again. So like I'm not my aim is not always comfort. My aim is to push myself outside my comfort and then to get comfortable in that zone. So it's like a constant, You have to continue that. There has to be this continued growth, hunger, thirst thing going on where, hey man, like right now, I'm not so concerned about being comfortable. I got to go do something that I'm not comfortable with and then get comfortable with that to then push forward further.
And that's what the structure does. A structure is built when at a time that you're not emotional, so that when you get to emotional moments while you're trading, you can look at this structure that you have already designed and built out, right? Instead of SOPs, you have routines. You check your emotions. We have a whole document that asks you specific questions to find out if you're in an emotional state to trade. Okay. We have everything built out and structured for you, assuming you want to treat it like a business, but it's there for you to take advantage of. And those that do, they get the privileges of our group calls and our August rush and those kinds of things. Those that don't use those tools, we're holding them accountable and we're saying, You got to
You're
treat
not
this.
safe. You're
Yeah,
not
you're
safe.
not really trading. You're gambling.
Yeah, you're not
So
safe. Get off the field.
I think that's a big reservation for a lot of people too, is that they, when they get into start trading, they kind of feel like they're gambling, right? Which probably means they are gambling. And you may be listening to this right now and really resonating with this, like, yeah, I feel like it's gambling. It's like, well, that's only because you're not doing it systematized,
you
right?
know,
And that doesn't mean that there's not going to be fallbacks. Every business has its ups and downs. Every industry has its ebbs and flows. Everything you do inherently has risks and rewards. It's all the same, right? And so when we play this round or this game, if you will, don't treat it like a game, treat it like a business. And I mean, how much more simple does it get than that?
Yeah,
it's
and
it feels different. Like I actually helped someone just a couple weeks ago hone in on their plan and stuff, and then they messaged me the next day. They're like, "Dude, I just got 30 pips," and I'm like, "And how did it feel?" And he said, "It wasn't luck. I followed a process."
mm,
I remember that. Yeah.
That's
and
huge.
so yeah, so I think we're gonna close off here with a closing thought, and then we'll give you a gift here today. And so first and foremost, I want to move with this concept of closing with the getting to choose your hard. Because for those that are, maybe you're watching for the first time, or maybe you've been here a bit, but like if you don't know, now you'll know. And if you know, you know, right? But we're here to drive across the nations as best we possibly can in our lifetime to drive as much impact and income into the lives of as many families as we can, to press families together across the nations, to help them drive more impact and income so they can do more of the things they love with the people they love most. Why is this so important? Well, in the old days, we used to have a hunter and gatherer, and we used to have somebody at home doing the nurturing. And then, people would have a nice retirement fund because they'd have a job for about 30 years that would allow them to get to that point. Now your
Houses for like
turnover,
5 grand.
yeah. And now your turnover is, 2 to 3 years for a person to stay with a job. There is absolutely no security. And if anything, that's in life what we're looking for. Now, I want people to move from this notion of comfort and security because security isn't always comfortable. Security requires communication. Security requires connection. Security requires putting in the work. And so you get to choose your hard. And ultimately, what we know is as the economy is completely being bastardized right now, and right now inflation is going through the roof, and there is no nurturer at home because mom and dad are fighting out there to make ends meet while at the same time teachers are raising our kids, which is not the design that it should be. Everybody right now, if you want to get to that level of security, you get to choose your hard, and that security comes with skill sets. And so far, we have not found a stronger skill set for somebody to dive into to actually build that level of security that you're looking for in this light for right now. If there is, please let us know. We'll be the first to go over there, and we'll want to adopt that to help as many people as we can. And so, if you're here for the first time and you want to get to know us, you want to get to know a little bit more about our processes and learn about who we are, what we're all about, and what we're looking to transfer to you to empower you and to equip you, you can go to prosperitymovement.online. There's a little chat bubble at the bottom right hand of the corner. And all you have to do is just chat with us there and maybe just share blueprint. A good place to start is the blueprint. We want to give that blueprint to you to help you and guide you. Now, here's what you need to understand. We constantly talking about the commitment level and the coachability. Those that come with a high level of commitment and coachability, you get rewarded. Because right now we've got about 3 different options of how you can join in with the prosperity movement and be a part of it. And we've made it right now for those that are coachable and those that are committed that you can get access to a lifetime membership for the same as the yearly membership. You have to illustrate a high level of commitment and coachability because we want to work with you. We always say this, you give us 1, we give you 10. You come and show up and give us 0, you get 10 times 0. We don't want to waste James's time. Again, if you had the opportunity to have coffee with a guy like Elon Musk, how much would that coffee be worth? Okay, now you get to jump on a call where people are trusting him with 200-pound lot sizes at 300 pips, which is stupid amounts of money that you could have never dreamt possible in one session, in 1 hour. That's a big hourly wage. Okay.
Mm.
Like that's more than most people's yearly salaries in an hour. That is happening. Do you
I
want
think
to
a great
show
way
up for
to
that call or do you want to waste that person's time? Because how much do you think they're going to want to put into you if you don't show up?
I think you just made my wheels turn a little bit and my gears turn with the coffee. If we phrase the question like this, like would you spend $100 on a cup of coffee? I think most people would say no. It's like, well, what if it came attached with Elon Musk? But it was a conversation with him too, or whoever. You can choose whomever who's been successful in whatever industry. In this case, James, right? And cool enough, we actually don't ask for anything like that up front. We just want to make sure that we're working with the right people who are actually in it to win it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, a guy who I think it was last week, he couldn't make one of the meetings because he had to jump on a plane to go get one of his suits tailored in London or something like that. Was it in
Yeah.
London?
Yeah, he was going to London. He's like, sorry guys, I can't make the meeting. Go to
Special
London.
tailor.
Just to get measured for a new suit.
Measured. My Lord. My Lanta. Let's make sure. And it's like you couldn't have showed my wife how to do that over Zoom. But no, I'm gonna go see my guy and have coffee and he'll measure me. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's nice. I'll do
Awesome.
that. That's coming.
Yeah.
Anyway, we want to wish you everybody the best in health, wealth, and relationships. Don't mistake my little bit of aggression on the call today for anything less than tough love.
Right on. Love it. Thanks,
All right.
guys. Have a wonderful day.
God bless.
Adios. Bye-bye.
Yeah.